We are going to build a second dashboard. Right now, we will click here to add a new page, change the background of this canvas. Now, how did we get here? You can always toggle between these things. I will activate the format, go to canvas background, click color. I can take any color I want. I can click here, go again to, well, just make the transparency 0, go back there, click more colors and take something a bit darker. Okay, you can always play with that and choose the color you feel most comfortable with. So there we go for the background. The first thing we want to do after playing with the background is to add a title. Insert, text box, reduce the size, and sales report. Select it, increase the size to, let's say, 28, make it bold, center, and adjust it slightly. Let's also change the font color from black to white. And I'll click outside, click around the edges to select it. Go now to the format, size and style, shut down the background, and then activate the visual border. Click the drop down, change the color to white, increase the size to 2, and there we go. Voila. So the next thing we want to do, we want to immediately add a slicer here. So I'll click on home, take the slicer, click on it, adjust the size, drag it all the way down, reduce the size here. We want to put the state there. So we will come here, take a look inside transaction. Where do we have state? I'll click that checkbox, and there we have the state. Now we can go to format and play around with it. The first thing we want to do here is, let's adjust the values, reduce the size to 8, change the color to white, and then close the values. Now go to size and style. We want to shut the background, activate the border, change the color to white, increase the width to 2, and then close that size, and let's just close that. Go to slicer header, change the color from black to white, reduce the size to 10, and that's it for now. So if we want, we can click and slightly move it there. We have all what we want. Let's start with the next thing. We are going to add a few reports. So here, if you have come here, you have the card. We'll click on the first one. To add the first card, let me adjust that to reduce the size again. And basically what we want to do is to take a look at the total sales. The total sales, let's look for where we have sales. I'll click the checkbox and we have the total sales. Now let's format that. I'll shut down the category label. I don't want it. I want a title. Click the drop down, give it a title as total sales. Now reduce the size to 12. I think I should make it 8. Make it bold. Change the color to white. And that is it. I will go to size and style. Shut down the background. Close again. Now I want to go to call out value. reduce from 45 to, let's see, 20. Yeah, I'll make it 22, make it bold, change the color from black to white, and that is it. Now the title, I want to center that title. Go back to title, center it, and let's click outside and see. Okay, we need to add something more. Go back. Okay, close short title, short call out value, go to size and style. Let's see, visual border, we want to check that on, change the color to white, width to 2, voila. Okay, so at any time, for example, if you want the total sales from Alabama, you just click Alabama, Arkansas, California, and you can click to uncheck it. Now the next thing we want to do is to copy and paste that. Control C, Control V, move it there. And this time I want the total quantity. So we will come here on check sales and check quantity ordered. However, we'll go to the title. Let me see, let me close size and style, click quantity. Here we have total quantity, and there we go. Now we can copy and paste again and put it there, and this time it's no more. This time we want the total profit. So profit of order, we can come and adjust what we have here. By the way, let's change the title to total profit. And then we may, okay, let me just increase the size of that. Okay, that's much better and easier. Okay, that's fantastic. So now we are going to throw in, let me click here to move that slightly to the right. It's up to you to make it look as nice as you want. Okay, fantastic. I'm going to throw in a couple of tables here. So we will go right here. We have table, click on table, reduce the size. We will create tables similar to the one we had on the previous dashboard, but this will be different. So here we have customer name. Let's see, customer name, drag and just drop it there. So if you don't have this particular thing here, let me click and delete that. I don't want that. So well, I'll just drag it and drop it here. That's it. The next thing we want to do, you want the quantity ordered. Let's look for quantity ordered, drop it. And you want the profit from that, drop it there. Inside the table still. If I move this, here we want to add the profit margin now from all of that. Still drop it inside the table and you have all of that. But we don't want to be scrolling. That's not helpful for a dashboard. A dashboard, you want to see everything instantaneously. So the first thing, let's go to value here. This is active. This is the format. Go to values to reduce the size. We'll make it 8. And the next thing we want to do is adjust how we write this. We don't need sum of quantity ordered. We can just use total quantity. So for that, I'll just right click here. Now note, if you don't have this, you can always come and toggle the bill and you have the same thing here. Now I will go to sum of quantity, right click it, take rename for this visual, and I will get rid of the ordered. I will get rid of the sum of quantity and just say total quantity, hit enter, right click on profit and do the same thing. I want total profit. Hit enter, and now we see most of the things. Okay, we don't want to change profit margin because the examiner has to know what you are doing. We will just come here in this heading, click and just drag. Let me see. Actually, we could come click here and drag to make adjustments there so that we are able to see the things which are there, or we reduce the size of those headers. So for that, let me just close the bill, and I will go to column headers, click the drop down and reduce the size to 8. And let's see, can we see most of the things? Now I can come and just move this slightly until we don't want things to skip to the next line. So let's move them slightly so that we have space. Okay, I think it's okay. It's okay like this. You have customer name, total quantity. If you want, you could adjust total quantity again. Let's go back to bill and we can right click, take rename for this visual. Rather than having the whole quantity, just get rid of that part, hit enter, and now I think we have a bit more space to play with it. I can move this here, then we can see everything. So that's fine. Now if you click here, for example, you can see the highest. So it arranges it in descending order of magnitude. If you click here, it will arrange it in descending order. And if you click a second time, ascending order, you can click to see the customer whose order provides the highest profit margin, and if you click again, you can see lowest profit margin and so on. Let's arrange by quantity so that we can see quantity, profit margin, and so on. Well, it's really up to you. You should have a particular question and you expect your table to answer. Let me click here and move the table slightly lower, and that's it. Now I want to copy the table and paste it again, Control V. Now move the pasted table down. I'll click there and just drag it down all the way to the bottom. Now it shows us we have a bit of space. Let me see. I'll move it slightly this way, not that way. I'll just drag it up slightly and also drag the other one slightly down. So at times it's these cosmetic things that take so much time. So we will click on the second table. We no more want to do customer name, we want product name. So I will come here where you have customer name. I'll click X to get rid of it and look for product name. Drag it and move all the way there. Now you should be careful when you see the green thing behind, that's when you release so that you can have that. Now you see we don't really see much, so you have to come here, try to look for that thing and move it. Okay, now let me see, just look at where my mouse is and try to understand what's going on. So if you think we can't see everything, then you just adjust it a bit more, and that's it. So we can now see the product that has the highest amount of order. If you want to click on profit margin, you can see the product that provides the highest profit, and if you want to click here, you can see what product offers the highest profit margin. And if you want, you can filter it by the name of the state, and you will see it will change as you select. So I'll click again to uncheck everything, and leave it as it is, and I'll come back and take by quantity. Now it's up to you to choose how you want to do it. That's it now for the table. Now let's add some more interesting things here. So here I have a pretty large screen, so I can add a few more things that I cannot do on my laptop or when I have a smaller screen. So if you have a larger screen, you can put lots of things there, print it and use it. It's just going to make for a much better dashboard than when your screen is pretty small. Because on my laptop, the things I will add now, I could not do it, but I'm using a larger screen. So here I can actually add another card. I'll do Control C, Control V to add another card here. And then I'll come uncheck the profit from order, and we can add the profit margin. So I'll just click here to see the the total profit margin we have. Let me click outside, click back here. I guess while manipulating it, I change the shape. Okay. Whatever, it keeps playing those games. I can actually take this and put it there if I want, or I can just make an adjustment here. Let's see. Now we are going to move on and throw in a chart. So let me shoot down the bill. Let's come here. We want to put the line chart, and I'll move it all the way there. Do some slight adjustment. We don't need all of that space. We can take it all the way here. Okay, now we are going to go by month. So I am going to look for where we have the month, take the month and put it, throw it inside. We expect it to go to the x-axis because the month should be where you have your x-axis, and your values should be the y-axis. Now, what do we want? We basically want the profit. So I'll take profit of order, drag it and go where we have the y, and then drop it there, and we have that. Now we have to format this so that it looks nice. So make sure it's active, go to format, and we want to go to size and style, shut the background, and activate the border, open, change color, white, increase size to 2 for the border, shut size. Now go to x-axis. We want to reduce the text size to 8, change the color to white, and we will see the title, the color of the, we want to reduce the size to 8, change the color to white so that we can see what's there. Do the same for the y-axis. We want to go to values of the y-axis, change the color to white, reduce the size to 8. The title, we also want to reduce the size to 8, change the color to white, and there we go. Now we will close the values and look for title. This is the title of a chart. Let me see, let me close that. Let's look for the title. This is the title. Reduce the size to, I'll say 10. I'll center it. I'll change the color to white. And now we want to put the values on it so that we can see a chart. So I'll close title. I will go to grid lines. I want the color to be white. I don't want dotted. I will take solid lines so that we can clearly see what we are doing. But we could as well take dotted. It's up to you. Okay. Now we will put some values there. Let's close the grid lines and let's look for the data values. Click to make it active and then go in and change the color. So data values, let's see, values, and then change the color to white and reduce the size to 8. And now we can actually change the color of that line. Let's close the value. Let's take a look at, let me see the marker. So we will look for where we have the line, these lines, and we will go to color, change that color. I'll come here and I want to take something in the shade. Let's go there. Yeah, I'll leave it there. If you want exactly what I have, just take this hex hashtag 30EFF9 and put it in yours and you'll have exactly what I have here. So we can change this rather than have sum of profit, we can have total profit of order by month. So let's go back here, close the lines, go to title, and here you can see total. Okay, that's it for that one. The next thing we want to put here, we will come and take this particular one. Yeah, we'll click, make some adjustment in terms of size so that we can clearly see what we are doing. This time we want to look at the profit margin by product category. So on our x-axis, we will basically have the value, and on the y-axis we will have the product subcategory. So we have product subcategory, we will drop it on the y-axis, and on the x-axis we are going to go for profit margin. So this is just an example, you can play with it as you want. Let's see, let's do some adjustments. The best way is to just click here, go to Format Painter, use it to click here for it to take the formatting we did there. And voila, that's it. It makes it a lot easier. Now, another thing we want to do is to throw in the slicers. So let's go for our slicers. I'll click outside. Take the first slicer, reduce the size. We want to take the slicer here. The first one, I'll put it there. I'll definitely reduce the size so that it can fit in there. Now we want to go by product category. I'll look for where we have product category, check it, go to, let's close title, go to slicer setting, change from vertical to tile, and then here we can adjust the values. We can take the value as white, the font size we can take white, and the background we can take something like that. Okay, if we want we can even make it slightly darker. Now the idea is if you click for furniture, it's going to filter everything by furniture. Given that when you click on it, it's going to be dark, you want the distinction to be clear. So I'll take this shade so that it's not confusing to know which one has been selected. Okay, I think that's fine. We'll leave it at that point. And if you don't select it, we can still see. So we need to put a title there so that we know what this is all about. So I will close the values, size, I'll go to title, I'll activate it, and I will give it the name. Here we are dealing with product category. Okay, we'll reduce the size all the way to it, make it bold, center it, and we can give it a background. The text should be white, and we will give it a background of, we'll take the darkest one. Okay, and that is it. So now I'll click out there. You can choose whatever you want. If you want, you can choose this same color, and so you can spend a lot of time making it look as you desire. Okay, I can as well choose that particular color. Then you just have to, if you do that, go back to size and style and activate visual border, increase it to 2, change that, make it white so that we see where it starts and where it ends. Okay, I'll move it slightly inside, copy it, Control C, Control V to paste, and then move it in there. This time around, we don't want product category. Now we want customer segment. So you will come and uncheck product category and look for customer segment, check customer segment, and it looks a bit like that. Now let's change the format of the values inside. So let me close size and style, close title, and go to values and reduce the size to 8. There we are. Now I also want this to be consistent, so I'll go and take Format Painter and just click in here, and it's going to copy whatever we've done there. Now you can go for product category. Once you click for that, you can see how things have changed across time. You can see the profit margin. So you can choose whatever you want. You can even hold down Control Tab and choose more than one. You can have corporate, home, and then for office supplies, and everything cascades, and you can even go to Arizona and see how it works. Now you also see all the changes here. So let me uncheck all of that so that we complete dashboard. Now I will throw in a couple of things, graphics here. Let me click on the canvas here. I'll take the first one, drop it there. Now basically here we want to see the total sales by region. Of course we have total sales there, but we can play around here, or we can just use these two things and play around here. So I can look at the total sales by region. Let's see if I click region and I go to sales, total sales to check it, it does it automatically for me. Now I don't need to go and reformat things. I'll just go back to this initial page, click on it, and then take the format. It will not format it exactly as I want, but it's a first step. And now the next step is that I want to adjust the background. So for that, I'll just click on this, take the format and click on it to adjust that. Okay, I'll get rid of what we have there, get rid of the legend. I don't want any legend, and I think so far it's good. So I'll click and make some slight, reduce the size a bit. Let's see. No, I think it's okay like that. No, let's see. You want to make sure you can see everything, but you also don't want it to be too big. If it's at a point you can't really see, go to rotation and slightly rotate it so that it positions itself in a way you can see what is there. Let me just click there to adjust the rotation. So 83% gives me that rotation, and that's fine. So I'll copy it and paste it again and place it here. So I could click there. We want the title not to be sum of sales, but to be total sales. Total sales by region. This time now, I want to see the total profit by region, so I will uncheck sales, look for profit, click on profit, go to the title and change to total. So now we have the total profit by region. I don't see everything, so I'll go to rotation. Let me adjust title, go to rotation and bring it to 0 and see if it's the right rotation. Fine, that is good. Then I will copy this and paste it again so that I can push it there. This time I will use contribution margin. So I will uncheck sales and I will take I can even take profit. No, we already have. Yeah, I'll take profit margin. I will adjust the rotation. Yeah, here we see much better. I'll change the title and put profit margin. And finally, I will Control C, Control V, and put it there. Let's see, what do we want to add here? I'll just throw in the contribution margin. Uncheck profit, the contribution margin. Now, if you want, for slight variation, you could, rather than using the pie chart, you can just take the donut chart. Okay, it's the same information. It just makes it visually more appealing to have a slight distinction. Okay, we have the total profit, we have the profit margin. So basically, you can now, so if you take a look, you can see we have a bit more space here to put everything else so that your dashboard is complete. Control V. I know the video is getting a bit long, but we have space here. Let me adjust it. This time I can put in as many things as I want, because we just found we have a bit more space. Control V, put it so that at a glance you can see everything you need. Let's see with the size. If we adjust the size there, adjust the size. And here, adjust the size. Okay, now I will select all of them. I'll hold Shift and just select all of them so that I can arrange it. I'll go to Format, Align. I will align in the middle, and in addition, I will distribute horizontally so that the spacing is proper. The last one here, I'll just drag it to occupy more of that space. So if you want, you could change this to dashboard of sales. So rather than sales report, you could say sales dashboard. Okay, I'll click out of that canvas and I'll cascade that, make that, and here we go. So basically, let me just adjust this slightly here, just so that it looks good. It makes for a much better visual. And that's it. If you, at a glance you can see, okay, we need to adjust this total sales, total quantity, total profit. Let's click here to give it the right numbers. Let me adjust that. We do not want total profit here. We can, let me see, total sales, quantity, profit. We can take total profit margin. So I'll uncheck profit and click profit margin. We can come here, click on that one. We simply uncheck this and we put contribution margin. Let me check that. Come here, uncheck this. If we want, we can take a look. Rather than having average sales or average total sales, we can now have average sales. So let's look for, okay, I have profit here. I can come, click the drop down, change from sum and take average. Come here. Okay, we need to always adjust the title and give this average profit. Okay. So let's just make sure we are doing the right thing here. At times when we are in a haste, that's what happens. This is contribution margin. So the title here has to be total contribution this is profit margin. So we will say total profit average profit. Here we want to put average sales, so I'll get rid of total profit and I'll look for where we have sales. I'll check that in. I will come, click the drop down, change this and put average, and here we have the average. So the key here, if you have a bigger screen, then you can put in things so that when you are taking it into your Word document or whatever document, you can see most of the things. So we are done with this. It took a bit of time, but this is just to give you ideas. Take a look at this chart, take a look at the other one on page 1 and see how you can combine. You can, these are just different iterations of the different charts you can generate. It's up to you to see which charts you want to generate, what background and so on, but just make sure you are using something that answers your questions and it's easy for the examiner to see and know what you are doing. Okay, have fun.